Rowan Aveen here played in Semple Stadium ahead of this Division 3 Round 6 encounter. Tipperary versus Offaly here in Semple Stadium. Paul Carroll on commentary with Philly Ryan alongside me, former Tipperary goalkeeper, and our coverage here on Tipp FM is with thanks to Treaty Electric, Sarsfield Street in Neenah. Looking out on the field, it looks like Tipperary are going to be playing from right to left in the first half, and we can tell you that it's going to be playing into a very strong breeze that's blowing down to our right hand side, from left to right down in towards the town end to our right hand side, Philly. So the wind is going to be a big factor in this first half.
Yeah, unusually, very deceptive. If you look at the flags down below, they're changing the whole time. So, yeah, it looks like we're going to play against the wind, even though it's blowing into our faces here as well. A number of changes on the Tipp team, so it'll be interesting to see how this game gets going. Offaly have everything to play for. I suppose we have as well. We have to really go for this and try and give our survival chances every hope we can.
Yeah, so Tipperary currently sit on just 1 point after 5 games. Offaly have got 3 wins in this encounter. If they win today, they will go into the last round next weekend with a very much a fighting chance of promotion. So a lot to play for both teams, but we'll also be keeping an eye on Antrim versus Cavan. That's thrown in up in Belfast at 2 p.m. as well, and a Cavan win there, or an Antrim win there would ensure Tipperary would be relegated. So let's keep an eye on that one, and we'll keep an eye on the action here as the ball is thrown in by referee in charge Galway man James Malloy, and the action is underway. And the Tipperary team, I'll just name it out here, as Tipperary are slowly building an attack from the back, as Teddy Doyle is just getting onto the ball here in the centre forward position. Tipperary playing from right to left as we're looking down it. Teddy Doyle going to kick it into the full forward line, and it's a nice ball in front of Sean O'Connor. O'Connor on the 14 swivels onto his left foot, and it's just half blocked down, and away comes Offaly. But the Tipperary starting lineup, Michael O'Reilly in goals, full back line of Shane O'Connell, Jimmy Feehan, and Keith Ryan comes in from Upper Church Drumban. He comes in place of Willie Everson. Half back line here for Tipperary, Emmett Maloney wears number 5, Kevin Fahey is 6, and Colm O'Shaughnessy is 7, with the midfield duo of Paddy Feehan and Jack Kendi also in midfield there for Tipperary. 2 changes to the Tipperary half forward line. Mark Stokes doesn't play, instead number 19 of Carl Deely of Clonmel Commercials comes in, and number 24 Stephen Quirk comes in for Donaleahy, and Teddy Doyle starts with number 12. With the full forward line here for Tipperary, Mikey O'Shea, Conor Cadell and Sean O'Connor, as we see Carl Deely going on the attack now for Tipperary, brings it past the Offaly 45, hand pass it backwards to Teddy Doyle, and Teddy Doyle plays a ball in on his right foot, but it's straight into an Offaly defender. And interesting to see how Tipperary will just build into this game. A lot on the line for Tipperary here.
Yeah, there is a lot on the line. I see Emmett Maloney's playing that sort of he's in the full back line, so obviously he's taking up a man marking duty on number 12, Nigel Dunn.
Yeah.
So it looks like
Kevin Fahey's almost like a sweeper there out on his own on the edge of the D, as we see Offaly develop the attack on the far side of the field. Offaly come into this game with a late 1 point win over Longford up in Longford, so they'll be full of confidence here as Joe Maher gets his first touch, the number 21 for Offaly, and Offaly now might have their first shot at the post. It's from a very acute angle, and it never really had a chance. That was Nigel Dunn. He was inside the 14 over in the far corner of the field, and on his left foot it didn't really have a chance. So Michael O'Reilly takes the kick out quick, goes low and to his left where Cathal Deely is in a wing back position, and Deely hand pass it forward now to the powerful Paddy Feehan. Feehan back to Deely now, and Deely brings it up to halfway between the two 65s, plays it back towards Kevin Fahey now, and Tipperary just building this attack slowly, and go back to Jimmy Feehan, who's the full back here, the Kilnall man, a brother of Paddy, and Paddy's going to get on the ball now after receiving the hand pass from Kevin Fahey. Still no score, 2.5 minutes gone here in this National Football League game. Tipperary versus Offaly in dry conditions but very windy conditions here, and a lot of hand passing going on. But now a ball played in to Stephen Quirk. He's been pulled back on the 14-yard line, so it is going to be a free in for Tipperary, and it's going to be a scoreable free that hopefully Jack Kendi can put over the bar.
Hopefully, nice little ball in. We're actually looking to play a bit of decent football at the moment, a lot more positive than we've been in other games, so hopefully it's a sign of things to come for the rest of the game. We can keep going at this.
So Jack Kendi just about 7 or 8 yards to the left of the 14 of the large square here, so a very favourable position for a right-footed kicker. He's on the 14, he's going to be taking it out of his hands, and he puts that ball over the bar. The first score of the game goes the way of David Power's men. It's Tipperary 1 point, Offaly no score, 3.5 minutes gone, but now we'll get to see if Offaly, how Tipperary will contest Offaly's kickouts.
We seem to be gone man to man anyway at the moment, so that's a good push up on it.
So Offaly go long, and it looks like that's going to have too much on it, and that might be a factor there with the wind. It's gone over the head of the Offaly centre-back Peter Cunningham, who was just running out towards the dugouts here in Semple Stadium, but it went over his head and out over the line, and it's given Tipperary a platform now to build another attack through. Teddy Doyle gets it off to Cathal Deely. Deely's been on a lot of ball already, the young Clonmel Commercials man. He almost loses the ball, but hand passes it backwards now towards his clubmate and teammate here with Tipperary, Kevin Fahey. Fahey now to Jack Kendy, and Jack Kendy gets it off to Keith Ryan. Keith Ryan now of Upper Church Drumbrand brings this up as far as the edge of the D, beats a man, gives it off to Kevin Fahey. Fahey now gives it to Conor Cadell. Cadell out to Teddy Doyle here on the edge of the 21, and might be a shot at the post here perhaps for number 24, that's Stephen Quirk. He strikes it on his left and it's over the bar, and it's the first score of the game for Stephen Quirk, and it's straight between the posts. And Philly, it's been a very good start here for Tipperary.
A very positive start, very lively start. We were in maybe the lads didn't trust Shane O'Connell. He was gone through for the goal and they got the ball into him, so maybe it was the right decision.
And a good kick out there by Ian Duffy there finds Dylan Hyland in a lot of space here for Offaly, and he's going to be able to bring it all the way up to the Tipperary 65 without being challenged here as we look over at the crowd over in that new stand here, and the referee in charge, James Malloy of Galway, has given a free in there for Offaly just on the edge of the 45, so Offaly will look to maybe go short, and they do go backwards, and that's backwards towards number 15 Dylan Hyland. Hyland now going to crossfield kick this towards his cornerback number 2 Lee Pearson. Pearson now driving forward. He's a fast, lively player, gives the hand pass off now to Cian Donoghue. Donoghue now on the edge of the Tipperary 45. His kick pass across the field is a loose one though, but it's a loose hand pass there away from Tipperary as Kevin Fahey looked to be away, but it was a loose hand pass there by Conor Cadell, who had the ball kicked straight into his hand. It would have been a
free ball and gave it away straight away.
Yeah.
You know, it was one we could have built on.
Yeah, so David Power looks on down to our right hand side how he'd love a Tipperary victory here today. We have not won a game so far in this league. We just managed 1 point, and that was the draw up in Longford, where Tipperary squandered what was a 4-point lead heading into injury time in that game, but they'll be looking for a victory here as Offaly has a shot on the post. Nigel Dunn from a difficult angle. He's kicked it high. Has he kicked it accurately? Yes, he has. That is a very, very good score for Offaly, and it's come from number 12 Nigel Dunn, just on the 21 at an angle.
Yeah,
kicked
nice
it high.
Yeah.
Great strike for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was indeed. Yeah, nice little score, difficult angle, as you say. He short kick out by Michael O'Reilly, and we're away again.
Tipperary probably have to go short with this wind in this first half. So we see Emmett Maloney now, who's out around his own 65. He's looking for support though. He's taking the ball into contact, beats a couple of tacklers and gives the hand pass off to Cathal Deely. Deely now in a bit of space, has time to hand pass it back to Jack Kendy. Jack Kendy breaks 2 tackles and brings play up to the 45. Emmett Maloney almost acts as a pivot point for Jack Kendy to go around, and Emmett Maloney just testing out his leg there after breaking that last tackle. We'll keep an eye on him. He looks okay though as he filters back towards the half back line, and play is over on the far side of the field. Here's Shane O'Connell. He tries to play a ball into Stephen Quirk, but Stephen Quirk has 2 men on him. He might still win this, and he's won himself a line ball, and he does really well there. Or has he won a line ball? The linesman is just over there in the action. He has, so it's a line ball to Tipperary just outside the 21, and Tipperary are going to go backwards now towards Paddy Fian. Fian is right on the sideline there in the new stand, throws a dummy hand pass, throws another one. He's brought play up to the 21, but Tipperary work it back and hold on to possession through Teddy Doyle. Doyle just on the edge of the D now, going on a solo run. He's always has his eyes up looking inside, but he might have a shot himself. He beats a couple of men now, but now he needs a hand pass, and maybe he gets it off to Sean O'Connor, and O'Connor just runs into trouble here on the edge of the 21, and here's Kevin Fahey. Kevin Fahey goes long in towards the 14, but it's a poor ball, and Teddy Doyle had the chance to maybe just pop that over the bar there, Philly.
Yeah, it looks like he did. He was trying to make a bit of space for himself, and it just didn't happen for him. He just didn't get that yard to unleash the shot.
So here's Anton Sullivan now. He's going to have a shot at the post. He brought that ball a long way, hits a shot. It was going to almost hit the crossbar. Michael O'Reilly rises with 2 hands to do very well, as Philly said, to just keep that in play and keep his hands securely on the ball, and that allows Tipperary to build another attack here. But Tipperary very much in this game, 2 points to 1. Tipperary lead, 7.5 minutes gone here in Semple Stadium.
Yeah, I have to say, very impressed with the start that Keith Ryan has made here. I think it's his first start at his Tip today, and he's very impressive, very energetic, carrying a lot of ball there from the back line.
And here's Stephen Quirk now. Quirk gives the hand pass off to Teddy Doyle, and Doyle goes long, but it's a very loose pass, and it's going to go all the way into the goalkeeper Ian Duffy, and in fairness to Teddy Doyle, he's always looking to make something happen, but he's hit a few loose ones in here in the first few minutes.
He needed to get a bit more. Maybe the wind was against him there, maybe that's what happened, just he was looking to make the right pass, but it just didn't happen.
As we look on in the action, and I can see Stephen O'Brien standing down below us, how David Power and Co would love to have him on the field, just probably a week or so away maybe from recovering from his hamstring injury, and the Ballina man would be a huge asset to any inter-county team, especially this Tipperary team that has been depleted by a lot of injuries so far this year, but they're in the action and they're in the lead here against Offaly, but it's Offaly on the attack through number 15, and that was Dylan Hyland, and he just slipped awkwardly and held onto the ball while he was on the ground, just lost his footing bringing it into contact, and Tipperary are going to get an extra 10 yards on this free and going to play it forward now towards Sean O'Connor. He's under a lot of pressure though and wins that ball. It's actually Mikey O'Shea in possession of this ball on the 65, and he gives off the hand pass and builds a platform now for Tipperary to bring this ball forward now. Here's Kevin Fahey, he's up as far as the 45, and he finds a crossfield ball now to Emmett Maloney. Maloney has about 10 yards of space in front of him, and he's going to bring this up to the 21 yard line, gives a hand pass off to Cathal Deely. Deely plays it back out now to Kevin Fahey. Kevin Fahey gets a shout from Jack Kennedy to leave it, and he does leave it. Now here's Conor Cadell, throws up a dummy. Is he pulled back? No, says the referee. Cadell shoots on the left boot from just outside the 14, and it's hit the post and gone wide. Just unfortunate there. He never looked too comfortable shooting on the left, but I thought he would have maybe got an advantage there.
I thought so too, I agree with you. It looked like he got a little pull back, second ball on the pitch as well, so that slows down the kick out as well. Unfortunately he was pushed onto his left leg, which didn't look too strong. The outside of the post with the shot.
Tipperary looking comfortable on the ball, but you'd like to see maybe get more you'd imagine Offaly will come more into this game as it goes on. You'd like to see Tipperary maybe get a few more scores on the board while they're getting a lot of possession.
Offaly haven't really settled into the game yet. Tipperary really they're owning the play at the moment.
And Tipperary on the attack again after Mikey O'Shea.
If we can get the ball to him.
After Mikey O'Shea intercepted that pass, and as you could hear Philly said that Teddy Doyle is in space, and now Teddy Doyle has the ball and he shoots from a distance. Is it accurate? It would be a great score. It's just crossed the face of the goals and left and wide. Another wide for Tipperary. It's come from Teddy Doyle. He was just kind of on the edge of the D but off at an angle, and it's just gone across the face of the goals and left and wide. And a reminder to listeners, Tipperary playing into a fairly strong breeze here in Semple Stadium, but it is Tipperary with a 2-1 lead here after 10.5 minutes in Semple Stadium.
We're finding a bit of space in behind the sweeper here today, so I mean if we can take advantage of that, just scores in it for us.
So it's going to be a free now out for Offaly just on the far side of the field, halfway between the 45 and the 65. But Tipperary, do you think in the second half now, Tipperary with this wind, would you imagine they'll go long, or will they keep it short, or what do you reckon?
It's hard to know, Paul, because it's actually working very well for us at the moment, run the ball through the hands here. Nice little kick pass into Stephen Quirk. Offaly are very standoffish at the moment.
Very much so, yeah. And Stephen Quirk now in possession of this ball on the edge of the D, gives it off to Jack Kennedy. Kennedy usually doesn't need too much of an invitation to shoot, but he's got it off now to Sean O'Connor. Sean O'Connor on the edge of the 21, and this time it's gone to the left and wide. It's another poor wide for Tipperary, and it's one that you would back Sean O'Connor to score all day long, just on the 21 central position. He'd probably had 2 yards on his man, so he had time to swing the boot around it, but just got too much curl on it to the left and wide. So Tipperary really need to start capitalising on these chances, Philly.
They do indeed, at some stage Offaly are going to get a grip in the game, and we're not going to own it, but we have to take every advantage we have at the moment, and we're just not using it. We're still a point ahead, but Offaly on the attack now.
Offaly on the attack now, a dummy strike, and now a strike from one of the Offaly attackers, and it's just gone to the right and wide. Couldn't quite see who that was who struck it on that far side, and it was their full forward Anton Sullivan, but his shot just went right and wide of Michael O'Reilly's goal. So Michael O'Reilly goes short with the kick out to Emmett Maloney. Maloney's able to bring it up to the 65, runs it into contact though and loses possession, and now Offaly are on the attack through number 15 Dylan Hyland. Nice move by Offaly, get it into their full forward line, and here's number 13 Bernard Allen plays it back to their midfielder, and Offaly now shoot from another difficult angle, but it's another poor shot selection by Offaly, and it's gone straight into the hands, bounced into the hands even of Michael O'Reilly. Never had a chance of going over the bar. So poor shot selection by both sides so far.
Actually, Paul, I was just about to say exactly that. Both teams management teams won't be happy with their forwards in front of goal. They're not sharp today by the looks of it.
and just keeping our eye on other things happening in the world of Tipperary sport. And Ben Healy has come on for Scotland there. The Nina man has made his Scotland debut against Italy in the Six Nations, and will also be keeping a tab on happenings in the RAG, where the Tipperary senior camogie team are playing Clare. And here's Tipperary in possession of the ball through Mikey O'Shea. He turns his man one way, turns his man the other, and now he goes on the attack, and Mikey O'Shea has brought this all the way up to the 14, and Mikey O'Shea off the left boot has split the post, and that is the score Tipperary needed after a prolonged period of pressure. Mikey O'Shea done really well, created his own score, pushed his man, shouldered his man to the ground, and put it over on his left from a difficult angle.
Absolutely lovely little score. He took his man on there. He made, as you say, he pushed the man off, but probably used his strength to the best use, and lovely little score from a little angle. Yeah, nice.
So 3 points playing 1, Tipperary in the lead after 13 and a half minutes. There's the first long kick out now, and we've seen the wind there, and it's really opened up now for Offaly as Peter Cunningham is surging through the middle of the field. He brings it up to the 21. It's a surely this is going to be over the bar, and straight over the bar it goes from Bernard Allen. He scored 1-3 against Longford, and he's got a point here today, but that was the danger of the long kick out. Tipperary had pushed up and it went over the top, and it all opened up for Offaly.
Maybe that's the advantage of the wind as well. There was a little bit of an extra carry on it.
So 3 points to 2, Tipperary in the lead, and it's Tipperary in the attack through Emmett Maloney. He's been pulled back, but referee just plays the advantage here, and here's Cathal Deely now. Cathal Deely been on a lot of balls so far, but he needs support now as he takes it into contact, and he goes backwards now, and now he's looking across the field maybe to play it to Kevin Fahy. Here's Fahy now on his own 65. He gets a shout from his teammates to watch his back as number 12 Nigel Dunn was coming up behind him to try and win the ball off him, but Tipperary retain possession through Paulie Fian now. Tipperary just in possession in their own half of the field, but it's played forward now to Emmett Maloney. Maloney now brings his play up to the Offaly 45. He's looking for a hand pass through the middle and gets it off to Kevin Fahy. Fahy very comfortable on the ball, no matter where he is on the field, but plays it into Emmett Maloney. Maloney tries to play a ball into the full forward line. It bounces in off Sean O'Connor's marker and into the hands of Mikey O'Shea. Mikey O'Shea brings it up to the 21. Hand passes it back to Conor Cadell. Cadell goes one way, goes the other. Now hand passes back out to Teddy Doyle. Doyle now, the Ballina club man, is after hand passing it now to Colm O'Shaughnessy, and O'Shaughnessy goes back out the field as the wind is blowing Philly Ryan's papers around here in the old stand. As a real test of the wind here in Semple Stadium as Emmett Maloney brings the ball forward now. Cathal Deely now just on the edge of the D. Tipperary progressing as Stephen Quirk hits the deck. Seems to be some sort of collision there. Referee says play on, and now he's going to stop the play. Philly, not sure if you saw that. It seemed to be just a collision of players, a number of players on the ground after whatever happened off the wall there.
It was just a short passage of play, and there was about 3 or 4 players just ran into each other. It wasn't anything, there was nothing sinister in it. They just banged into each other, but there's 2 Tipp lads on the ground and an Offaly fella, and there looks like there's going to be a blood soak for Offaly.
Yeah, in fairness, the Offaly medical team that were in straight away, they must have spotted it. Looked like just a collision, and it might have been a banging of heads together maybe, as Stephen Quirk is back up on his feet, as is Cathal Deely. So Tipperary lads look to be okay, but still an Offaly man just slowly getting up to his feet now after that off the ball collision. Tipperary were in possession, so I'd imagine it's going to be an indirect free for Tipperary.
Yeah, and we have it about 25 yards out, so somebody's going to have to make a run because we can't have a shot at it. So, but I suppose first 16 minutes of the game, Paul, has been a lot more positive than we have been for a long time in this league, so it's good to see.
Yeah, so just keeping our eye on happenings up in Corrigan Park in Belfast. Antrim 1-2, Cavan 3 points. Remember, an Antrim win there would relegate Tipperary, so we will keep our eye on that, and hopefully Cavan can come back into that game. So it's currently Antrim 1-2, Cavan 3 points. But here in Semple Stadium, it is Tipperary 3 points, Offaly 2 points. We've 16 and a half minutes gone as we see the introduction of Jack Bryant onto the field. I'd imagine that's going to be a temporary substitution.
I would think so, yeah. He's one of their under 20 All-Ireland winners, so he comes with a big reputation as well from the bench.
And scored a goal against Longford off the bench last week, so he's been in good form. But Tipperary on the attack now through Cathal Deely. His hand pass just gets half blocked there towards Emmett Maloney, and now it's a bit of soccer going on as both players just kicking the ball off the ground. That looked like it might have been picked off the ground, but it's going to be a free for Offaly instead. It was Cathal Deely just to have pulled back Rory McNamee, and Offaly on the attack here. Tipperary lead 3 points to 2. National Football League Division 3 round 6 encounter here in Semple Stadium as Offaly go on the attack through number 7 Cian Donoghue. We've 18 minutes gone. Tipperary with a 1 point lead, and it's Offaly on the attack on that far side of the field, doing well to keep it in play. Over on that far side is Joe Maher now. Maher hand passes this across the edge of the 45. Tipperary just camped back a small bit inside their 45. 12 men back for Tipperary, 3 Tipperary men forward, but it's Offaly on the attack now, and it could be a bit of space for Jack Bryant. He gives off the hand pass. Offaly working this ball well and gets it into a shooting position for Rory McNamee. He kicks it high. It looks good from here, and the umpires agree it's over the bar. It's the levelling score for Offaly, Rory McNamee, and Offaly well able to work that score, Philly. They look impressive on the attack.
5 or 6 passes, very short space, and they moved it well. We're out again with the kick out. Offaly look to be stepping off our kick out and leaving us have a bit of possession from it.
Yeah, so Tipperary now have to work that ball back to Michael O'Reilly, and it just opens up in front of Michael O'Reilly, and he has no fear of taking this ball forward, but he's taking it up to the 45, throws a lovely little dummy hand pass, and now he gives the hand pass off to Jimmy Feehan. Feehan is looking for a pass, and he might just give it off to Jack Kendy in the middle of the field, and Kendy now goes back across the field to Colin O'Shaughnessy. Tipperary done well to work that ball out, and it's really opened up now for O'Shaughnessy, and he's going to boot this long into the full forward line where Stephen Quirk has won that ball inside the 21. Can he get a hand pass off? Could be a goal chance here for Tipperary, and it's just Mikey O'Shea who just tried to fist it over the bar and ended up fisting it straight to the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper now is under a lot of pressure, and it's one of those bailout frees given by the referee. The Offaly goalkeeper was coming out with the ball. As he bounced the ball, it just didn't bounce up off the ground firm, so he had to put his toe under it and get it into his possession again, and he was on his own 14, but that misbounce by him allowed Stephen Quirk and Mikey O'Shea to come in and tackle him and hold him up in the tackle, and it looked like the referee was possibly going to give a free into Tipperary, but instead he bails the goalkeeper out there with that free.
It could have gone either way, I suppose. It looked like the Tipp lads had it bottled up, and I thought it was more a free in than a free out, but anyway, that's the referee's decision, unfortunately.
So our referee in charge is a Galway man of Salt Hill origin. It's James Malloy, and it's 3 points apiece here in Semple Stadium as Offaly are on the attack through their centre back. Peter Cunningham brings the play up to Joe Maher, who's inside the 45 and hand passes it into the full forward line, and here's number 12 Nigel Dunn. Nigel Dunn turns over his left shoulder, shoots with his right boot, and there is the lead for Offaly. It's the second point of the game for Nigel Dunn, and Tipperary just kind of gone off the boil in the last 5 minutes here at Philly.
Yeah, for no specific reason. It's just their decision in front of the goal isn't good at the moment. Offaly aren't they're not doing anything hectic to bring themselves into the game. It's just a bit of slack play by ourselves.
Here's a first long kick out there by Michael O'Reilly, and he gets it off to Cathal Deely, and Deely does well to hold that ball in possession and gets it off to Jack Kendy now. Kendy now fists that ball forward to Paddy Feehan, and Paddy Feehan gives a very high crossfield ball, but it's accurate into the hands of Colin O'Shaughnessy. O'Shaughnessy turns his man one way, turns him the other, and brings it into the 45, and now he plays a kicked low ball in towards Sean O'Connor. Sean O'Connor tries to fist it over the heads of a couple of Offaly defenders, and luckily it gets to Mikey O'Shea, who's on the edge of the 21, but he's under a lot of pressure. He's looking for the hand pass, gets it back to Teddy Doyle. Teddy Doyle off his left boot just gets half blocked as he's shooting, and it's gone straight into the goalkeeper's hands, and David Power is very much not happy with Teddy Doyle at all there. And
look, he was entitled to have the shot, but it's just a good block down by the Offaly man, got his touch on it.
It looked like Tipperary could have had a shot maybe earlier, maybe if Mikey O'Shea, in fairness to the Offaly defenders, they're not giving Tipp much time once Tipp get the ball anywhere near a shooting position.
No, they're not. No, they're in around us quick enough, all right. It's a strange sort of game. Like, I mean, we dominated the first 10 minutes of it without hitting the scoreboard too hard. Now Offaly are coming into a bit of a patch of play here. And
here's number 13, Bernard Allen. He's won himself a free on inside the D here, so it's going to be a very easy scoring opportunity now for Offaly. And it's Offaly 4 points, Tipperary 3 points. It's the sun is coming out here in Thurles, but unfortunately it's still very windy and the wind is favouring Offaly, but they haven't made too much use of it. But it is difficult, I suppose, for the Tipperary players. Even running into a strong wind can be taxing enough on it can indeed.
It probably changes your decision making sometimes, and you'd imagine this is a tap over free, but you can never be too sure.
So Bernard Allen now on his left boot, it looks like is going to be taking this free. No, it's going to be instead left for number 15, Dylan Hyland. Hyland now going to be taking this just to the right of the D here, but it's a suitable angle for a left-footed kicker, which Dylan Hyland is, and he brings this right to the edge of the D and swings that straight between the posts over the bar. It goes 5 points now for Offaly, 3 points for Tipperary, and Offaly really pushed up now on this Tipperary kick-out, so interesting to see what Michael O'Reilly will do from this one.
Yeah, gap of two in it. There's an Offaly man on the ground, so we should have a spare man somewhere. Looks like Teddy Doyle down the middle of the field if Michael has the goes for it.
Instead he goes and plays it to Keith Ryan. A lovely kick out there, and a one bounce into the hand of Keith Ryan. And here's Cathal Deely now, been on a lot of ball. Good carrier of the ball is Cathal Deely, but he hand passes it into the middle of the field to Paddy Fian. Fian now hand passes it off to Jack Kendi, just a couple of yards in front of him, and Kendi gives it off to Colm O'Shaughnessy. O'Shaughnessy now of Golden Kilfeacle just surveys his options and passes it back now towards Jack Kendi. Kendi very sometimes when I watch Jack Kendi, it looks like he's just playing out in his backyard. He's very just relaxed on the ball, very calm on the ball, and he gives a hand pass off now, and away comes Keith Ryan now. Keith Ryan just on this left hand side gets tackled very hard there by Dylan Hyland, knocks the ball out of his hands, but Keith Ryan retains possession, and Tipperary forced to go back to Jack Kendi. Kendi hand pass it forward now towards Paddy Fian. Fian now is on the 45, hand pass it laterally towards Keith Ryan. Ryan now to Teddy Doyle. Teddy Doyle surveying his options out on the edge of the 45 here. It looks one way, looks the other, then hand pass it and gets the ball back, but he's under a lot of pressure, and he's been tackled very high there by number 8 there, Jack McAvoy, and referee James Malloy is reaching into his pocket there, so it might be a yellow card coming, as Teddy Doyle just got a bit of a forearm to the head as he was trying to break that tackle.
Yeah, so it was a rash tackle. Teddy was coming away from the goal 45 yards out. He didn't really need to dive in, but not a great tackle, but
a yellow card there for Jack McAvoy. So it remains Tipperary 3 points, Offaly 5, 23 and a half minutes gone. It's been a good while now since Mikey O'Shea got that last score for Tipperary. Tip scores have come from Jack Kendi from a free from close range, Stephen Quirke and Mikey O'Shea both scoring from play, and it looks like Michael O'Reilly is coming forward to take this, but David Power is I told him to go back, but Michael O'Reilly is going to take it, and David Power throws his hands up in the air, so it's going to be a free in for Tipperary, just basically a yard or two outside of the 45, and Michael O'Reilly fancies it, and in fairness to him, the manager was saying don't, so he must really fancy this.
Those goalies are a different breed. You don't listen to anybody, those fellas.
Yeah, especially
he has the distance, I know that. Whether he has the accuracy, he might have, but
yeah, and he is into a wind, so he's going to have to give this a good boot now, and the referee is just blowing the whistle there as we see the referee just had to come over to the fourth official there to just sort something out, maybe an equipment problem, but the referee's back onto the field now, and Michael O'Reilly is ready to take this free. He's just about a yard outside the 45. It's a central enough position, and it does favour a right-footed kicker. So here is Michael O'Reilly. He boots this, gives it a great boot, in fairness to him. It had about another 25 yards on it, I'd say, and it's gone straight over the bar, and I'd say Michael O'Reilly can give a little wink over to David Power there as he's running back to the goals. It's 5 points to 4 Offaly with the lead.
I'm sure great decision by David to bring Michael up for that kick.
So 5 points playing for Offaly with the lead, but Michael O'Reilly with a brilliant kick there from the 45. Jeez, it literally nearly hit the top of the net behind the goals. It had a lot of distance on it and a lot of accuracy. So it's Tipperary 4 points, Offaly 5, but it's Offaly on the attack there, and it's really opening up in the middle of the field here for Dylan Hyland. He was able to bring that ball about 30-40 yards, but a loose hand pass there in the middle of the field allows Tipp to overturn it. And can Tipp break away here? They have a couple of numbers now, and one of them is Jack Kendi. He's in possession on the 45. Hand pass it off to the left to Teddy Doyle. Doyle now brings this up to the 21. Doyle throws a dummy, and he threw another dummy, but he took too many steps, and that's going to be a very frustrating one for Tipperary. And
balls back again, just a slight decision making again, Teddy didn't know whether to take the shot, fist it over, and then by the time he overcarried it, by the time he made his mind up,
he decided to fist it for a finish from close range, and it actually went wide, but the referee had already called for steps. But Teddy Doyle, usually someone who's a very good decision maker, has made a few poor decisions so far today.
He's normally very comfortable on the ball. He normally turns in towards the goal. We're after having a couple of poor options in front of the goal though today, unfortunately. But
a good interception there by Emmett Maloney, and the half back line gets it off to Conor Cadell. Cadell just with a loose hand pass there in the middle of the field, and that's a easy turnover there for Offaly, and they're going to win themselves the free, and that's a frustrating one for Tipperary. A lot of Tipperary's woes this year have been caused by something like that, an overturn in the middle of the field, a sloppy pass, and now it's really opened up for Joe Maher. He might have a shot at the goals. Instead he's just going to tap it over the bar from close range. Does the number 21 for Offaly. It really opened up for him. He was coming inside the 14 at an angle, and he could have had a shot at the goals. Instead he just tapped it over the bar. 6 points playing 4, as we see Paddy Fian in acres of space from that kick out. A good spot there from Michael O'Reilly. Puts it straight down onto the Kilnall man, who's able to bring this ball all the way up to the far 45 without anyone getting near him, and now he boots it long into the edge of the square. Stephen Quirke is underneath this. It's a dangerous ball. He's fisted it, and it's gone over the bar. It's fisted over the bar by Stephen Quirke, and that is good Tipperary football. Paddy Paddy Fian won the kick out, brought it about 60-70 yards, booted it dangerously in towards the edge of the square, and Stephen Quirk was in there to fist it over the bar.
It's more direct football from us. That's the way we need to be playing it. That's the way we need to go at it. You asked earlier on about how we'd go at it with that's more direct. We have a kick out, Paddy Fian drives on and kicks the ball in. We haven't been doing that too much. I
just think going long like that every now and again, it will force the whoever's full back there for Offaly, he'll be calling his men just a little bit back, and it opens up things for Tipperary.
The next ball that comes in, they'll be nervous under it, because Quirk is a big man, he's a big unit under that ball.
So the goalkeeper now for Offaly gets that kick out, and it's going to be asking a lot of the cornerback Lee Pearson to keep it in play, but he does keep it in play, but he's been tackled over on that far side, and the ball eventually goes out over the line. And the Tipperary crowd over in that newsstand thought it was a Tipperary ball, but unfortunately the linesman thinks it's an Offaly ball, so it is going to be an Offaly ball, and they play it into the middle of the field where Dylan Hyland now is in possession for Offaly, takes into a couple of tackles, and then it was a high tackle there by Paddy Fian. In fairness to Paddy Fian, he had his arms out and he kind of swiped across, and the minute he did it, he put his both hands up into the air, but I think he's going to get himself a yellow card. But in fairness, I know an Offaly man got one for a similar kind of tackle, but there wasn't an awful lot in that.
It was soft enough. The hands just went around. I suppose it maybe looked a little bit high. Maybe that's what did him, yellow card for Paddy. So
yellow card for Paddy Fian. Of course, his brother Jimmy in the full back line, but Paddy goes into the book and try and keep me updated with Tipperary versus Clare in the Camogie League. I can tell you Tipperary have started that game very well. After 20 minutes, it's Tipperary 8 points, Clare no score, and we will try hear from Thomas Conway, who was at that game, and he will give us an update maybe at half time. So Tipperary leading Clare in the Camogie League 8 points to no score, but it's Tipperary down by a point here in the Gaelic Football Division 3, with Offaly leading Tipperary 6 points to 5 here, 29 minutes gone in Semple Stadium. Offaly on the attack inside the Tipperary 21, but stuck right out in the corner. They're forced to go all the way out to the 45, where their fullback Declan Hogan and captain has met his way up the field, but Offaly happily just holding on to possession now, and all the way back to their own 65 now, as Tipperary are camped back inside their own 65, and Offaly just happy to play this ball over and back the middle of the field, waiting for an opening to come up. And now they kick long in towards the full forward line, and Colm Shaughnessy does well to just intercept that ball, but the Offaly man has it. He drops it on the ground. The referee has a decision to make, and he's decided that the Offaly man touched the ball on the ground, and that's a big defensive win for Tipperary.
Nice little nudge there, just as the ball coming in to hit the Offaly lad. Looked like he was going to bit of a scuffle going on there.
Yeah, it was Anton Sullivan, the Offaly number 14. He was the one who gave away the free, and he just wouldn't release the ball, which has allowed all the Offaly defenders to come back. And now Kevin Fahey is really getting to know Anton Sullivan there, and the linesman is coming in as they were just jostling each other in the middle of the field. But Teddy Doyle does well to get through a couple of tackles. He's been hassled from behind, but instead he's going to play it all the way back to Paddy Fian. Fian now in midfield just plays a low crossfield ball now to number 7 Colm O'Shaughnessy. O'Shaughnessy now has time to bring this ball forward and hand pass it backwards now towards Emmett Maloney. Maloney is on the 65. It's 6 points playing 5. Tipperary down by 1 against Offaly here in the National Football League. Tipperary give it off to Paddy Fian. Fian's going to have a look at the post. Fian just outside the right hand side of the post from the 21. He was one of those points you would back Paddy Fian to score about 80-90% of the time. That one was kicked well, but just drifted and just never drifted.
Maybe the wind caught it a spot towards the end, but and look, with a nice passage of play, we're coming about this game more positive than we have in a lot of other games. So look, there's a lot to take from this one.
So it's Offaly though in the lead, 6 points to 5, and they're in possession of this ball from a well-placed kick out by their goalkeeper, but the ball is loose in the middle of the field, and that allows Mikey O'Shea to get on it, hand pass it forward now to Teddy Doyle. Teddy Doyle hand pass it forward to Stephen Quirk. Quirk now on the 21, but he's out near the sideline, and now he runs along the 21, and he's going to shoot from a very difficult angle. He kicks it extremely high. Has he kicked it accurately? The umpire, I think, likes that, and it's gone over the bar. It was extremely high in the air from a very difficult angle for a right-footed kicker, but Stephen Quirk has got 3 points and has definitely justified his introduction into the starting 15.
Yeah, that's a very good score. Now I know there was a bit of height on it and it's hard for us to see whether it went over, but obviously the two lads nodded at each other and good score.
And Offaly go very short with this kick out now, and Sean O'Connor gets a little bit of a pull and a shove there on the corner back, but it's allowed their number 9 Conor McNamee to come forward with this ball and gives it off now to Peter Cunningham, the centre back for Offaly, and he brings it through right down the middle of the field, and has a lot of pace now as he's coming forward with this ball. He's inside the 45, he's almost up to the edge of the D, hand passes it off now to Bernard Allen. Allen now the left-footed kicker, turned onto his left foot, but the Tipperary lads were well used to him now at this stage in the game and were able to overturn him and kick the ball forward now towards Mikey O'Shea. A Tipperary man has been knocked off the ball, knocked down off the ball, and now an Offaly man has given away a free. So Tipperary just getting a bit of momentum here before half time. 32 minutes gone, 6 points apiece.
Nice time to be coming back into the game. It's like a game of three, or a half of 3/3 in a way, because we owned it the first bit. Offaly came into it. Now we seem to be coming on top here for a while.
And there's definitely a bit of bite to it. Like, there's a lot of pushing and shoving going on. Even the umpires there are doing well to keep Anton Sullivan and Colin O'Shaughnessy away from each other as the play continues about 80 yards up the field. Tipperary in possession. Jack Kennedy now just standing so relaxed on the ball, and he hand passes it forward now to Jimmy Fian. Fian takes it into a number of challenges and gives away the ball for over carrying, and probably a poor decision by Jimmy to run into those group of lads.
Around him, unfortunately. Too many. He wasn't going to come out of there too easy.
So Offaly now get the let off and come away with the ball through Joe Maher, their number 21. He's in the middle of the field, hand pass it forward now to Rory McNamee with number 11 on his back in the traditional colours of the Offaly jersey, and Offaly on the attack now inside the Tipperary 45, right out on the sideline on that far side of the field, running in towards the town end here are Offaly. They're stuck in the corner though. They're going to have to come back out the field, and they go all the way back out to Dylan Hyland, who's outside the 45, but it opens up now for Jack McAvoy on the edge of the 45, gives it to Peter Cunningham now hand pass it forward nicely towards Keane Donoghue, and now Offaly are up to the Tipperary 21 and a scoring chance for number 15 Dylan Hyland, and that's gone over the bar. And now the referee has blown his whistle here. I'm not sure what he's spotted now. He's going to have a word, I believe, with his umpires. The ball is gone over the bar though.
I'd say the score is going to stand. I'd say it's just something that was going on off the ball there.
As I said, Anton Sullivan, the full forward, he's been in a couple of skirmishes there with some of the number of the Tipperary players. Himself and Kevin Fahey were like young bulls in the field there, shouldering each other at one stage, and now it was Colin O'Shaughnessy in there with him the last time. So the referee, James Malloy, is having a good chat with his umpires, so interesting to see what he'll do here. He's walking back out the field now, and looks like he's calling a call over Colin O'Shaughnessy and Shane O'Connell, I should say.
And he's only talking to the Tipp man at the moment, so
it looks like Shane O'Connell, the captain here today, might get himself in the book, and he does. A yellow card for Shane O'Connell. So Anton Sullivan remains unbooked or anything, but he's still having a few words with the referee. As we do have a Tipperary man down. Just looks like a hamstring issue there for one of the Tipp lads, I think. So let's see who it is there.
Looks like it could be Emmett Maloney. I don't see him out around the pitch, so I think it's Emmett that's down.
So Emmett Maloney possibly down, just receiving a bit of attention, but it looks like we're going to play on. The referee is just having a word now. It looks like an Offaly man is coming off the field, is it? So we have an Offaly man running off. It is the aforementioned Anton Sullivan, and he's running up the
I'd say it's a gum shield
stand here. He doesn't have a gum shield, which, as we well know, is a bookable offence. So
I suppose if you're going to open your mouth in front of the referee, that's going to stand out.
And Cathal Deely just kind of tackled from behind there, but Offaly in possession of this ball now, and coming forward with the ball is Peter Cunningham. Peter Cunningham has passed the ball off now, and it opens up for Rory McNamee. He's going to have a shot at the post, and is it accurate? It is accurate. Over the bar it goes from Rory McNamee, and that's now a 2-point lead for Offaly. Offaly 8 points, Tipperary 6 points. We've 35.5 minutes gone. I believe we're going to have 3 minutes of injury time.
Yeah, Offaly looked that little bit slicker in front of the goal than we do. They're probably quicker to move the ball off and take the scores.
Made a couple of better decisions. I suppose they haven't had any loose shooting in the last 10 minutes. They had a few loose ones early on, but Tipperary just struggling to get the ball up the field there as Rory McNamee pulls back Paddy Fian. And Paddy Fian has kicked the ball straight into the hands of Bernard Allen now, and it's a very loose pass, and that allows Offaly to go on the attack through Anton Sullivan. Sullivan now has Shane O'Connell to beat. He turns one way, turns the other, shoots from a difficult angle off his left foot, and it's a great score in fairness by the number 14. He was inside the 21 but out near the sideline on his left boot, kicks it over the bar. 9 points to 6 now. Offaly in the lead, but it all came from a very loose kick from Paddy Fian.
The sloppy passes, one we should have been going forward off of 2 points down. It's a big swing now. We're 3 down, going into half time.
And Tipperary just struggling to get out of their own half here in the last couple of minutes, and that looks like a pull down there by Rory McNamee, and referee has called him for that pull down, but it's just going to be a tick in the notebook, I think, for referee James Malloy, as Tipperary now in possession of this ball through Teddy Doyle. He's just halfway between the 45 and the 65, attacking the Kleinen end, and he hand passes out to the left hand side where Cathal Deely has it, and Teddy Doyle now just holding his left hamstring. He doesn't look well now, but Tipperary on the attack through Conor Cadell. Cadell now in possession, gets it off to Teddy Doyle, but Teddy Doyle is limping and gets the hand pass away, but he is really not well, and he's going to be probably going to have to be replaced here, as he's just holding his left hamstring, and Ballinaman doesn't look well at all, as the physio there is attending to him. He's going to continue for this play, but he's going to have to wait till the ball goes out of play really before he can go off. He's just having a chat with the physio here, but he stays on the field, and Tipperary are still in the attack. It's Keith Ryan now. He's on his own 65. He looks to the right and gives off a hand pass now to Colm O'Shaughnessy, and Shaughnessy hand pass it forward. It's Offaly 9 points, Tipperary 6, and here's Emmett Maloney now. He plays it all the way back to Jimmy Feehan, and Feehan's going to play it forward now towards Keith Ryan, but Offaly camped back now just on the edge of their own 45, and Tipperary struggling to get past this wall of Offaly defenders on this 45, and 37 minutes gone, and we're going to be listening to the half-time whistle at any stage now, and it's Offaly with a 3-point lead. But Jimmy Feehan, in fairness to him, last time he took the ball into contact, he gave away a free, and he'd no fear this time, ran straight between two tacklers and won himself a free, and now it's a substitution for Tipperary, and off goes Teddy Doyle, and on comes number 11 Donalahy. So on comes Donalahy, and he is on for the injured Teddy Doyle there, left hamstring injury there for him.
Mike is coming out. Oh no, Jack is going short.
Yeah, Jack Kennedy goes short now, gives it off to Donalahy. He gives it to Kevin Fahey, and Leahy now gets it on the edge of the 21, gives a hand pass off to Paddy Feehan. Paddy Feehan now struggling with 2 or 3 Offaly men on him, and he's going to do well to get this ball away, and he just about does get it away to Donalahy, but Donalahy can't get it into his hands, and now he does. Gets it off to Kevin Fahey, but it's all very tight around the edge of the 21 here, as Stephen Quirk now is in possession out near the sideline. Hand pass it forward now, and it could open up now for Tipperary, surging through with the ball, and just tackled on the edge of the 14 and play it back now, and Tipperary still in possession on the edge of the D now, and might get a shot off his Emmett Maloney. Instead, here's Cathal Deely. Deely might shoot with his left, kicks it high, it's curling. Is it accurate? It's over the bar. A very well worked score there from Tipperary, and it came off the left boot of Cathal Deely, and that's more like it from Tipp.
Yeah, nicely worked score. Like, I mean, we moved the ball from one side to the other. Ref is going to blow half time now, so look, we're going in 2 points down.
Yeah, the scoreboard is wrong here. It says 10-6. It should be the last score was put up for Offaly. It should have been put up for Tipperary, so it's 9 points to 7. Offaly lead by 2 points, but generally good stuff from Tipperary. They're in this game, and they do have a fairly strong breeze to come in the second half.
Yeah, we've brought a bit of energy to the games here today now. Like, I mean, it's our most positive performance that we've had today that I can see, apart from the second half in Longford.
Yeah,
It's for the first half of the game that we've been looking at all year, this is definitely our best performance to date. What factor will the wind have in the second half? Hard to know. My force is long. Would be no harm either if we did go long. A couple of big men in around the square.
So half time here in Semple Stadium in the National Football League. It is Tipperary 7 points, Offaly 9 points. We're going to take a quick ad break, and we'll be back with half time analysis after these. So half-time here in Semple Stadium, and it is Offaly with a 2-point lead over Tipperary in the National Football League Division 3 Round 6 encounter. The half-time score is Offaly 9 points, Tipperary 7. Paul Carroll here on commentary with former Tipperary goalkeeper Philly Ryan alongside me. Philly, it's been a better performance from Tipperary, playing into a stiff breeze, 2 points down, but they've done a lot of good things in that first half. Yeah,
I think they'll be happy enough with the performance in the first half. It's probably the best half of football, the first half of football that we played in this league so far. I don't think they'll be too disappointed given the wind being a factor out there. It must be a factor.
Yeah.
Probably bring a bit of length into the kickouts in the second half, and looking at Michael O'Reilly, if he got a few frees maybe 45-50 yards from goal, he might have a pop at him as well with that wind. So I'd be happy enough. I don't think the management will be too disappointed either going in. The only thing is we've had a couple of bad mistakes. We had a free out around the middle. We should have been pushing forward, but instead we ended up conceding a point to go 3 down at a vital stage. I'd like to see us come out and have a right go at the second half now, because it's make or break. Our survival depends on it, and if it's out of our hands, it's out of our hands. But at least we give ourselves a fighting chance by winning here today.
Yeah, and you like, even for the lads themselves, just win a game. Like, you know, they've been training hard since probably before Christmas even, and I know they've won a couple of games in the McGrath Cup, but to you know, a competitive game, they've probably left one or two behind them just for their own sake to come out with a win. Would be massive.
It would be nice for morale. I'm sure it makes it a hell of a lot easier going into train next Tuesday or Wednesday night if you had a game one behind you, you know.
Yeah.
I see Donnelly, he stayed out there at half time to prolong his warm up. He just went into the game about 30 seconds before half time.
Yeah.
When Teddy Doyle came out, so he stayed out just to do a bit of a warm up, and he'll come into he'll go centre forward for the start of the second half. Mikey O'Shea is very busy. I'm very impressed with Keith Ryan. He's brought a lot of energy to that. Yeah. Teddy Doyle had been going well. We'll miss him in the second half now. He'll be a bit of a loss, but
he's one of those players, especially with the breeze, and Tipperary might be pushed a bit far forward in this half. Someone around the goals, we've seen him. He's scored, I think, 2 or 3 goals so far in this league campaign. He's a good man for a goal, knows kind of where to be, and that's going to be a bit of a loss in the second half. But Donnelly is the substitution on for him there. But half time here in Semple Stadium, it's Offaly 9 points, Tipperary 7. We're going to take another ad break, and we'll be back with the second half after these. So still half time here in Semple Stadium. Tipperary taking on Offaly in the National Football League Division 3 round number 6, and it is Offaly, the faithful county, with a 2-point lead at half time. It's Offaly 9 points, Tipperary 7. Paul Carroll here on commentary with Philly Ryan, former Tipperary goalkeeper, alongside me. Philly, as we were mentioning beforehand, a lot of positives from Tipperary in that half, but maybe just kind of lacking that killer instinct around the kind of from the D inwards in. Let's
maybe 25-30 yards from goal. We're just a bit hesitant at times, rather than dropping the shoulder and going past the man. We're coming back out, and maybe in the second half we take the man on. There might be a free there might be a chance of a goal. I think we're finding a bit of space out around in behind the sweeper. I think we might find we'll get a goal chance here at some stage, I think. I think we'll definitely get one goal chance. Whether we take it now is another thing, but there is a bit of room going to open up, and maybe with the wind in the second half, that'll give us an opportunity to create a bit more. And
a positive for Tipperary has been Stephen Quirk. He scored 3 points from play in that first half, and has been looking at threat in the full forward position.
Yeah, he's been massive. 3 good scores too. One very good fisted point could have probably gone in.
Yeah,
either or. Put the full back under a lot of pressure.
A fisted point from a high ball.
And his score from over the side was exceptional. That's very good score. So he's been a big unit there today. He's been a big addition to the squad. Scored 3 points, and we'd probably have Mark Russell to come on the second half.
Yeah, Mark Russell warming up there at half time, just kicking the ball around.
Mark himself, I suppose, he has a bit tad too. He was an huge impact coming off the bench last year.
Yeah,
he hasn't been at full fitness this year, so hopefully now that there's a bit more in him as well. So Tipperary back out on the pitch.
Tipperary back out onto the field, just checking to see do we have any more substitutes, and it looks like it's the same 15 that left the field in the first half are back on, and they're being encouraged there by vice captain of the team Stephen O'Brien as he's looking on there beside Mark Russell. Be great to have the two of those lads in midfield, but unfortunately not quite just yet as Kevin Fahey makes his way back out onto the field. So it's Offaly with a 2-point lead here. Nice conditions in Semple Stadium. The wind is still blowing though down on that field, and Tipperary will have the wind in the second half, and Tipperary now just getting ready for Offaly to come back out onto the field. But what do you reckon David Power and co would have been saying at half time? Do you know, they might have had a glance at the Antrim score and see that Antrim are beating Cavan by 6 points, which would summon Tipperary to relegation here. But what do you reckon the message would have been at half time?
I'd say what they'd be saying is, look lads, keep doing what you're doing. Probably need to push a small bit tighter, get a little tighter in the backs at times, and be less hesitant up front. Take the opportunity when it arises. Maybe drop the shoulder, go past the man, try and get up and support. A
bit more intensity maybe to it.
But we've been good. It's very positive from where we've been coming from in the league, and I don't want to put the mockers on it, but I do think there's something in this game for us if we go at it, Jeff.
and still waiting for Offaly to come back onto the field there, as the referee in charge, James Malloy, is just making his way back onto the field. Just other things happening around the county. The Tipperary Camogie team are taking on Clare in the National Camogie League in the RAG at the minute, and the half-time score there was Tipperary 14 points, Clare no score. So Tipperary progressing well there in the National Camogie League, up 14 points to no score against Clare at half-time. And of course those sides would have met a number of times last year with 2 draws and 1 Clare victory, so a sign of maybe Tipperary progression so far this year. They've done well so far in the league. They bet Galway, they bet Dublin. They're leading against Clare, and they just had that narrow loss against Cork. So a good start to the year for Dennis Kelly and co in the RAG. But we're going to concentrate on things in Semple Stadium for the next 30-35 minutes, as Tipperary are still waiting for Offaly to come back onto the field. Antrim are playing Cavan in the other game we're keeping an eye on, as if Antrim win that game, Tipperary will be relegated, and Antrim are winning that game 1-7 to 4 points at half-time up in Corrigan Park. And I'll be up in Corrigan Park myself tomorrow. Tipperary taking on Antrim in the National Hurling League. We'll have live commentary of that game here on Tipp FM at 1:45. So we look forward to that one. A couple of new faces on that Tipperary team, and plenty of excitement around the county, as the Tipperary hurlers are already into a league semi-final. But we'll concentrate on the footballers here, as some of the lads are just having a final couple of words with each other out on the field. Michael O'Reilly is out around the middle of the field, which I'd imagine we could see him maybe out the field a bit more in the second half, both in play and from dead balls.
Well, yeah, he covered an awful lot of ground the day above in Longford in the second half that day. So maybe he'll be utilised a bit more. Offaly coming back out now. I see our Conor Sweeney down there on the sideline as well, giving the lads a bit of a G up, so it's good to see him back on 2 feet as well.
Yeah, so I believe Conor's surgery is coming up. What date are we today? Today's the 18th. I believe he said it was the 23rd, so next week Conor Sweeney will be getting surgery on his knee, so we wish Conor all the best in his recovery, and we'd hope to see him back out onto the field in Tipperary colours as soon as possible, and hopefully we get to see that probably next season. Now at this stage, as he'll have probably a 9-month, 10-month recovery rehab process from that ACL injury that he suffered here in the first round against Down. But all set to go here, second half, National Football League. Offaly winning by 2 points, Offaly 9 points, Tipperary 7, and referee in charge James Malloy ready to throw the ball in. Tipperary going to be playing from left to right in their traditional blue and gold, Offaly playing from right to left in their green, white and gold strip. So here we go, ball thrown in by referee James Malloy, and it's fisted forward there by Paddy Feehan and into the hands of Donald Leahy. Leahy now plays it back now, and Tipperary go on the attack through. Keith Ryan gets it off to Conor Cadell. Conor Cadell hand passes it forward to Donald Leahy now. Leahy now out around the 45 and hand passes it backwards now, and Tipperary just happily bringing this ball forward through Keith Ryan, have a bit of space, and here's Paddy Feehan. Paddy Feehan doesn't need any introduction to shoot from this kind of distance, but instead he hand passes it off now, and here's Paddy Feehan gets it back now. He's out near the sideline, and he's going to shoot from a very difficult angle. It's going to land in around the square where Stephen Quirk is in there, and it's just fisted out to the side by one of the Offaly defenders, and Conor Cadell puts the pressure on out around the corner flag, and he's just fouled his man, so away comes Offaly with the ball.
Yeah, we should have had a bit more patience, I think, before we kicked that ball.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a hit and hope.
Definitely off balance kind of ball in by Paddy Feehan. So poor first attack of the half here by Tipperary, and we have a bit of a breeze now, and it's almost like it's kind of shifting a small bit. It's more across the field now, but Offaly are in possession and won themselves an advanced mark there. Joe Maher winning that ball, so on the edge of the 14, but a difficult angle. But this should be a point for Offaly here in this first half, as they kick it high and long. And is it over the bar? It is accurate. It's over the bar. 10 points playing 7, and that was Joe Maher, I believe. Or was it? No, it's number 12. Was it Nigel Dunn, his third point of the game? So here's the first kick out of the second half for Michael O'Reilly.
And Offaly have backed outside the 45 and just let us have possession from the kick out.
So that's going to be an interesting factor of this second half, with Tipperary playing with that breeze. But I must say it's kind of blown into the old stand here now, that breeze, so we'll keep an eye on that, as it was pretty much down the field in the first half, just slightly changing at the minute. But Tipperary on the attack, 10 points playing 7, Offaly in the lead, 37 minutes gone here in Semple Stadium, as Tipperary go in search of their first win of this league campaign. And Tipperary do have advantage, referee says play on, and Tipperary just not getting much penetration here so far, trying to break down this Offaly defence, Philly.
Yes, what you wouldn't see from home is inside the 65-yard line there's probably about 26 or 7 players, so it's very difficult. We're not helping ourselves either, because we're being a bit slow on the ball, back too much. And again, I'd like to see him take him on. go at them.
And Jimmy Feehan just gets the ball flicked out of his hands in possession, and away comes Offaly with the ball. They've turned over Tipperary in the middle of the field. Tipperary nearly, Paddy Feehan got a fist on that hand pass, but it just went back to an Offaly man, and Offaly have the chance now to build their attack. But just one thing I noticed on that attack was number 6 Peter Cunningham for Offaly was camped right on the edge of the 21, not allowing any kind of easy long ball going in. So they're not going to let themselves be isolated on the edge of the square.
They're not going to get caught on that long ball going in. He's got back around there again, even though they're coming forward with the play.
So very much a defensive setup here for Offaly in front of that full forward line, but Offaly are on the attack and they have the lead. And here's Jack McAvoy. McAvoy now in possession, kicks a crossfield ball along the edge of the 45, gives it off now to number 11 Rory McNamee. McNamee goes one way, goes the other, and now he gives the hand pass off to his right hand side, and Offaly working it up to the 21 now. Might have a shot at the post. There was Conor McNamee. Instead he hand passed it, gets it back. He's going to do well to keep this in play. He's coming down the line. Has he been fouled? No, says the referee, and away comes Michael O'Reilly with that ball. That looked like that could have been a foul, but play on, says the referee, and this might allow Tipperary to just break
away one ball. I thought it was a foul myself. Should have been a free in. That's a good ball if we can get onto it.
Well, if Tipperary can keep this in play, Jack Kennedy has booted this long, and it is going to be kept in play right in the corner by Stephen Quirk. Stephen Quirk hand pass it forward now towards Sean O'Connor. Sean O'Connor back to goal, turns one way, turns the other, beats his man. He's in on goal. He might have a shot at the post. Instead he fists it to the right and wide, and it's just a poor execution there of attempt at a fisted point by Sean O'Connor. But Tipperary done well to work the ball up the field, but need to be much more potent than that.
We're not clinical in front of the goal today, and we need to be a bit more clinical like that. You get in there, you get that opportunity, you have to take it.
So a goal kick now for Offaly. Ian Duffy is their goalkeeper from the Walsh Island club, and he kicks this ball long and central, and it could be caught there. It's a big collision between 3 or 4 players in the air, and the referee might just stop play as Emmett Maloney and Rory McNamee collided hard there in the air, and we could kind of hear it up here. They both look okay, maybe just winded, but the referee has stopped the play. Tipperary in possession of the ball, so it will be an indirect free, but a heavy collision there right down in front of us.
I suppose the ref is obliged to, if there's any hint of a head injury, he has to stop the play. So I suppose it's the right decision. Just an aerial collision. They both look a bit shook though.
Rory McNamee back up on his feet, as is Emmett Maloney. They both look okay, as Jack Kennedy has possession of the ball on the 65 as he's surveying his options for this indirect free. He's kind of looking around now, looking to his right, and Emmett Maloney has made a run. Instead he goes all the way back now to Colm O'Shaughnessy. O'Shaughnessy passes it back now to Jack Kennedy, and Kennedy has a bit of space to bring this up maybe as far as the 45, and he does, and he gives off a lovely little dummy, and now he might have a look at the post. Jack Kennedy kicks it high, but it's just going to curl across the face of the goals to the left and wide. It's another wide for Tipperary, and another scoreable chance goes a begging for the.
He made a nice bit of space for himself, Jack, clipped the ball in and just pulled wide, unfortunately. Again, just missing our chances.
So a loose kick out there by the Offaly goalkeeper, and luckily Offaly get away with that. Surely that's been touched on the ground. No, says the referee, but Tipperary do have possession, and one of the Tipperary lads, Paddy Feehan, has been pulled down. He's going to take this free quick, gives it off to Conor Cadell. Conor Cadell from the edge of the 21 is going to shoot. Is this accurate? It's high, it's got the distance, and it's got the accuracy. A great score from Conor Cadell just on the edge of the D. Straight away, the minute he got the ball, nothing else on his mind, only I'm going to boot this ball over the bar. 10 points to 8.
Goalkeeper won't be happy with himself, probably on the kick out. 50-50 chance on the ball, and nice score though at the same time.
So first score of the second half for Tipperary comes off the right boot of J.K. Bracken's clubman Conor Cadell, brother of Paddy Cadell, of course, who's on the Tipperary senior hurling team. But it's Conor Cadell booted that ball over the bar. Tipperary now down by 2 points, 41 minutes gone here in Semple Stadium. Offaly 10 points, Tipperary 8, and it's the faithful county on the attack through Aaron Sullivan. A ball into the full forward line, and good defending there by Jimmy Feehan, just fists it out of the danger area. But Offaly still in possession of this brawl, and it's through Nigel Dunn. He's got 3 points already in this game. He hand passes it back out to his midfielder Conor McNamee, and Conor McNamee, has he been fouled by the Jack Kennedy? He has been fouled by Jack Kennedy according to the referee. Kennedy just turned. It was number 9 Conor McNamee in possession right out on the sideline on the 45, turned one way and almost tried to sidestep Kennedy. I thought Kennedy might have got the ball, but instead it looked like might have got him at a bit higher than where the ball is.
Once he turned into him, I think it looked to be a frontal charge, so that's probably what the referee blew for.
So Jack Kennedy can have no complaints there. It's right in front of the linesman as well, but play continues now through number 8, Jack McAvoy. McAvoy now forced to go backwards, he goes to his centre back Peter Cunningham, who's all the way up as far as the Tipperary 45 central position. Now a loose little solo run there by Lee Pearson, almost loses possession but holds on to it and gets a hand pass off to his teammate. And Offaly on the attack now through Nigel Dunn again, but Tipperary defending well, forcing Offaly to go backwards. But now Offaly have found a little bit of space right out on the sideline through number 9. Conor McNamee gets it off now to Dylan Hyland. Dylan Hyland comes in, a big goal chance for Offaly. A ball across the edge of the square is just intercepted by Tipperary, and that was a let off for Tipperary. A loose hand pass across the edge of the square. If that was accurate, it was definitely going to be a goal.
Definitely was. He was coming in and goal. Yeah, just ball hit the ground and something going on here now with the ref.
And Mark Russell warming up down below as he looks ready to come on. And number 21 Joe Maher getting a talk to from the referee as one of the Tipperary defenders had just intercepted that ball and he came in late, and Joe Maher goes into the book of referee James Malloy. So substitution for Tipperary. Off comes number 14 Conor Cadelli just after scoring that point, but on comes number 25 Mark Russell. So a substitution there for Tipperary. On comes Mark Russell. We knew we were going to see him at some stage, but he's on the field after 43 and a half minutes. And
I thought after 8.5 minutes I thought Conor was having a positive impact in the second half. Knocked over a nice score there. Probably surprised to see him go off. Look, that's just a decision they make. So Mark might bring a little bit of physicality to this game as well that we need up front. So
Mark Russell onto the field for Tipperary, and Emma Maloney just in possession of the bat ball. It was Conor O'Shaughnessy, actually a very loose solo run from him has opened things up for Offaly, and Offaly could be in on goals here now. They're inside the 21, now they're inside the 14 through Bernard Allen. He's been well defended though, and Offaly still on the attack, and they've been almost dragged down there by Jimmy Feehan. He's not happy with the referee though. It's going to be a free in. It was just outside the box. I don't think it's going to be a penalty, but it's going to be a free in on the 14.
That's it, yeah, and just marginally outside, I'd say.
Yeah, and luckily enough there's going to be no yellow or black card for, wasn't really a black card challenge by Jimmy Feehan, but it wasn't too far away from one either.
I think Jimmy is complaining that maybe a man barged into him a bit, which he could have too, it's a hard one to call.
So Nigel Dunn just on the 14. This should be a tap over point, and it is a fourth of the game for the Shamrocks clubman Nigel Dunn. And after 45 minutes here in Semple Stadium, it's Offaly 11 points, Tipperary 8, and Tipperary now they don't want to let it get to 4 or 5 points at all now. Tipperary will want to keep this as close as possible.
Good kick out by Michael now. He took a bit of a chance over 3 men's in there. And needs to be done sometimes.
Tipperary go long again. Paddy Feehan finds 2 long passes now, and now it might open up for Tipperary. And here comes Tipperary on the attack now, and it might be a chance to have a shot at the post for Mark Russell on the edge of the D. Oh, lovely little dummy, and now he's going to kick it central position, edge of the D, but it's to the left and wide, is it? No, it's over the bar. That's what he's on the field for. Just a beautiful kicking stroke of Mark Russell. Always kicks it high, and it split the post. 10 points now, 11 points for Offaly, 9 points for Tipperary. Back to a 2-point game. Good shooting from Mark Russell.
That's what we need, Paul. We need to take a chance with the kick out, go over the heads of the men that have pushed up, and a nice little play. We got forward very quickly, and great score from Mark. And Tipperary keeps us in contention.
Tipperary now under the defence again as Offaly work the ball out of their own half-back line on that far side of the field through number 5 Rory Egan. Egan now gives a hand pass off to far as Peter Cunningham. Cunningham now in the middle of the field over underneath that new stand, and on the attack are Offaly. They've got a 2-point lead, 11 points, playing 9 here in Semple Stadium. 45 minutes gone here as Offaly are in the lead. Tipperary must win one of the last 2 games, but if Antrim beat Cavan today, it's not going to be enough. If Antrim beat Cavan today, Tipperary will be relegated from Division 3 of the National Football League after being promoted from Division 4 last week. So never mind what Antrim do, Tipperary will have to win at least one of their 2 games, and this could be a better chance than any as they're away to Westmeath next Sunday. But now they're on the defences. Offaly still in possession of this ball in around the middle of the field, and Tipperary not putting on too much pressure in around that middle third at all.
Offaly playing an awful lot of passes. They're just happy to keep the ball and look for an opening whenever it arises.
And it's tough, to just be running after shadows there and letting them off with the ball. It's tiring stuff, especially when.
True, yeah. Sometimes you have to push up on the man. They're coming back out past the 65. They're in control of the game. They
could do this for the next 20 minutes if they wanted that. They don't need to score again.
And we might like looking at it, but they're here to win a game. That's what they're here for. They're not here to entertain us.
The last minute of play has just been Offaly in possession of the ball between the 2 65s. Really, no real forward progression at all, but now they're going to work it slowly towards the 45 through number 7, Cian Donahue. Now he's just in possession of this ball, but he's happy to completely back to goal and going to go all the way back to his own 65 nearly. And this is I think Pat Solan might have labelled this something back a few years ago.
He would, yeah, definitely would, yeah.
So not great spectacle here, as Offaly just happy to hold on to the ball here, and the crowd over on that far side getting a little bit angst as they've been watching this for the last minute and a half, and now Offaly might just win a free in the middle of the field. They don't. Instead they hold on to possession and still just hand passing it around the middle of the field.
Yeah, we have to come. At some stage we're going to have to come out and we're going to have to press the man on the ball. You know, you can't just leave them have it. If they'll nearly burn the clock down at this rate.
Yeah, I feel like that episode of Simpsons where the Mexican football match is on and they're just passing it around the middle of the field. That's what's going on here. It's still Offaly in possession of the ball. They're now passed it back to their fullback, who's out near their own 45. He brings it up to the 65 under absolute no pressure. And Tipperary really need to just push on here, but Offaly really patient in possession of the ball. And here's Dylan Hyland now, and Offaly have finally passed the Tipperary 45, and Dylan Hyland has burst through a couple of tacklers, and now they're inside the 14 at an angle, and that could be a black card now. Hauled to the ground there was one of the Offaly attackers there, I believe was that Jack Kennedy, was it, who pulled him down there?
Jack, yeah.
So Jack got a black card last day. He'd be lucky to get away without one here, I'd say. Referee James Malloy is having a few words with him, and in fairness, Tipperary probably just extremely frustrated by how long that went on.
Without a doubt, yeah, but then when Offaly came at us, we had a long time to set ourselves into a defence position, but we didn't, and when they came at us, then we weren't ready for it.
A yellow card there for Jack Kennedy, and it's going to be a free in now for Offaly, as Offaly welcome on their number 24, that is Luke Egan of Tullamore. He's onto the field, and off the field goes number 21, Joe Maher. So on comes Luke Egan, number 24 for Offaly. And off goes Joe Maher. He got a point, but over on that far side of the field, inside the 14, it's going to be a free in for Offaly, and this should be pretty much a gimme, you would imagine, for Bernard Allen over on that far side. So let's see, it's Dylan Hyland actually who's taking this off his left, and over the bar it goes. A third point of the game for Dylan Hyland. It's now 12 points for Offaly, 9 points for Tipperary. We've got 49 and a half minutes gone in Semple Stadium.
Yes, handy enough free for him to tap over. I suppose the Offaly lads have been economical in front of goal. They've scored 3 in the second half from 3 shots. We've had 4 shots at the goal and we've hit 2 wide, so it's 3-2 in the second half for them.
Still slow build-up play here again from Tipperary. They go back all the way to Michael O'Reilly from the kick out now, and here's Colin O'Shaughnessy, and he hand passes it forward towards Jimmy Feehan. Feehan now hand passes it towards Kevin Fahy, who gives it off his shoulder to Colin O'Shaughnessy, who finds Emmett Maloney in a bit of space now. Maloney now outside the 45, right out on the sideline here in front of David Power, and he goes one way, goes the other, but he bounces it 2 times, and it's going to be another handy turnover and a back easy possession for Offaly.
I think you said it earlier on as well, Paul. Their unforced errors have cost us.
That was completely unforced. There was no real pressure on Emmett there at all, and he just bounced the ball twice. And very disappointing turnover there as Tipperary try put in a late tackle there, and Offaly get the advantage, and away comes Offaly, and it could open up for them here. They're surging down through the middle of the field. Inside the 45 now is Dylan Hyland. He just loses his footing but gets a hand pass off to Peter Cunningham. Cunningham now plays it into the corner on the far side of the field, and Offaly now just well in control of this second half, but a loose hand pass there is intercepted by Cathal Deely. Deely looks forward now and plays it towards Stephen Quirk. Stephen Quirk does really well to gain possession of the ball, and he's fouled, and Tipperary look to get things moving quickly through Mark Russell. Russell now with space in front of him is going to bring this up to the 45 and maybe give off a hand pass to Dunaleahy, and he's hand passed. Mark Russell gets knocked to the ground, but you can hear the referee telling him to get up from up here, and back up on his feet is Mark Russell. He's outside the 45, but Stephen Quirk is in possession. A hand pass it across to Paddy Feehan. Feehan now gives it off. It could be a goal chance building here for Tipperary, and it's Sean O'Connor now. He might have a shot at the post. It's opened up, and it's a serious save. What a save by the goalkeeper Ian Duffy, as Sean O'Connor just opened up from after he gave a little shimmy one way, opened up. He was on the 14. He drilled it kind of at hip height for the goalkeeper to the right hand side, but the goalkeeper diving across his line was Ian Duffy. Saved it, and that was a huge chance for Tipperary.
Yeah, huge chance. Yeah, great shot. Sean made a bit of space for himself. Nice move there. We moved the ball very well, and Sean just got in, bet to 2 defenders, and perfect height for a goalkeeper, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Very happy with the way the ball came at him, and good save by the goalie, to be fair.
Yeah, good save by the goalkeeper, but must be said, Sean O'Connor gave him a chance to save it.
Yeah,
like it wasn't nice and low or right up under the crossbar. It was probably just around chest height even for the goalkeeper, and it wasn't right in the corner, but a good save by Ian Duffy in the Offaly goals. But that's a goal chance now gone begging for Tipperary. That would have drawn things level here.
And Offaly are going to take the sting out of us here now as well. They're going to play the ball around again, and we're not going to push up or press them on it. We need to push somebody here.
There's a lot of just walking by players on both sets of teams here, as Offaly just in possession in this middle third, right between the 265s again. It's just keep ball here for the Offaly men, and one of those lads in possession is Jack McAvoy, and he brings the ball up as far as the 45, but then Offaly happy to go backwards, and still around that halfway between the 45 and 65 is Offaly now. But it's a lot of jogging. Tipperary almost need to bring lads out of the full forward line to put pressure on in this part of the field for them, because Offaly are just passing it around the middle third with no pressure.
Yeah, Donnelly, he's trying to get a couple of tackles in there, all right, but we're not really forcing the man on the ball now. Stephen Quirk is out trying to do a bit of work there. Yeah, that's a bit better from us. And it's forced Offaly to go forward, and a hand pass over the top has been collected by the Offaly man, and Offaly are on the attack here, and this is a scoring position, and it could be over the bar, and you hear the cheers on the far side of the field from the travelling Offaly support as Dylan Hyland put that ball over the bar. And the minute Tipperary put on a bit of a press, Offaly hand passed it over one of the Tipperary lads' heads and came onto the ball. Was the same Offaly man, not sure who was on that far side, got it off to Dylan Hyland on his left foot, over the bar it goes. 13 points for Offaly, 9 for Tipperary, and it's disheartening for Tip. It is, Offaly have been very clever on the ball. They're slowing it down and then just wait for the gap to open, and they put the gas on then and take the Tip lads on at speed.
And what must be said, it's been a very difficult week for these Offaly players. They've played really well so far, but here's maybe another scoring chance for Mark Russell. Finds himself in a bit of space, and he's just some man for the long range points over the bar from just about 5 or 6 yards outside the 21, but just a very difficult angle, and he's put that straight between the posts, and 13 points spent in.
Yeah, we needed that score too. We need to keep in touch in the game.
And that's just what Mark Russell brings. Like he's someone who can. It's a possible loose kick out there from the goalkeeper, and it's caught by Sean O'Connor, and it's given in now to Donnelly. Donnelly might have a shot at the goals. He fists it over the goalkeeper's head, and the goalkeeper tracking back onto his line fists it out for a 45. And that would have been a huge turning point in the game. Ian Duffy, the goalkeeper, played the short kick out straight to Sean O'Connor. Sean O'Connor fisted it over the last defender, was bouncing as Donnelly was running onto it. The goalkeeper was off his line, and Donnelly tried to fist it over the goalkeeper's head, and the goalkeeper had to track back step, and just fisted it out for a 45.
Well, to be fair, he was on his back foot as well, so nice little effort by Donnelly. He chose the right thing to do.
And Michael O'Reilly is up straight away to take the 45, and it looks accurate from here, and he split the post. The second point of the game for Michael O'Reilly, and now all of a sudden it's back to a 2-point game. Offaly 13 points, Tipperary 11, and if Tip can push up on these kickouts again,
absolutely, and I think we'll get a sniff here. We know now we've had 2 good goal chances and we haven't taken them, but if we can keep working on, one might open up yet.
That's too easy now from that kick out straight to the Offaly corner back, Lee Pearson. But you think Tip should push up all the way on these kickouts, because into the wind the goalkeeper isn't going to be able to hit it past the halfway line really. So
you have a lot to do.
If you're just giving them the space out by the 45, they're going to take that all day, just pop it into the space and get on possession, because at this point Tipperary just can't let Offaly get on possession, because they're able to eke 90 seconds to 2 minutes out of every possession they get.
Yeah. So we'll see 2 number 22s coming into the game soon. Bryant and Lee McGrath, one for Offaly, one for Tip. So
that's Jack Bryant, who was on the field earlier for a temporary substitution. He's coming on the field, as is Lee McGrath, but the ball has gone into the full forward line for the Offaly side of things, and it could be a goal chance here for number 11. That is over the bar it goes by Rory McNamee. He was inside the 14, coming angling towards the corner flag on his left hand side as he got that ball. The goal chance was there if he wanted it, but he's popped it over the bar instead. 14 points for Offaly, 11 points for Tipperary. 56 minutes gone as we see the substitutions coming on now. On comes Jack Bryant, and just trying to look down on what number is that coming off, and looks like that is number 12. Is it Nigel Dunn? Yeah. So off goes Nigel Dunn, and off goes Paddy Feehan for Tipperary. So on comes number 22 Jack Bryant for Offaly in place of number 12 Nigel Dunn. And on comes Lee McGrath, I believe, for Tipperary, number 22.
The game, he didn't play the last day. He had some sort of a knock here 2 games ago, so hopefully he's recovered from that.
So we have 56 and a half minutes gone. Offaly 14 points, Tipperary 11, and it is Offaly, I would say, on the attack, but they're not really attacking the Tipperary goal here at the minute. They're just hand-passing it around their own defence because Tipperary aren't putting under a lot of pressure here, and it's all very easily for Offaly as the sun is well and truly shining here in Thurles, but we have still a chilly day with plenty of a breeze down the field that Tipperary are playing with in this second half, but haven't made much use of it. The half-time score was 9 points to 7 in favour of Offaly. They've held that lead and they've extended it by a point. It's 14 points to 11 now, but Tipperary just needs something from this game. They've had one or two goal chances go begging here. That Sean O'Connor shot and then that Donaleahy effort from the loose kick out from the goalkeeper, both just not resulting in goals, and we've seen that a lot. Like even up in Fermanagh, Tipperary had one or two goals blocked off the line. They just haven't been clinical enough.
Yeah, no, it just hasn't happened in front of goal for us at times, and good press on the ball now.
Yeah, just
silly tackle, really.
Yeah, just as we said it looked like Sean O'Connor had held the man up and then he just kind of swung around his hips and pulled him back a bit, and it was an easy free for the goalkeeper or for the referee to give. So Tipperary now just still sitting back just outside their own 45 as Offaly just push and probe and then go backwards. They don't really have to do anything risky with the ball, but now they're going forward, and now they might just lose possession if Tipperary can get back on that. And I believe that's Mark Russell all the way back there. He's won himself a free, and Tipperary looking to get away with this ball quickly, and they do. And it's opened up now for Tipperary coming through the middle of the field, and gets the hand pass off now to Jack Kendy. Kendy now going to go diagonally out to the sideline down in front of Mikey O'Shea. Mikey O'Shea now just a little loose solo run, but no one near him, and gets a hand pass off to Jack Kendy now. Kendy now bounces off two Offaly men and might have a shot at the post himself. Jack Kendy outside of the right foot, just as Jack Kendy can do, edge of the D, splits the post, and now it's 14 points to 12, back to a 2-point game. An Offaly man down after he ran straight into Jack Kendy, who was coming through. Jack Kendy done so well to just shake off two men, get himself in enough space. Yeah,
they nearly bounced him in towards the goal. It actually worked out well for Jack, actually, in a way. If we could close the gap again now, if we could get the next score, bring us back into a 1-point game, and you just keep it in touch, keep us going.
So 59 minutes gone. It's 14 points for Offaly, 12 points for Tipperary. You're listening to Tip FM's coverage of the National Football League Division 3 encounter between Tipperary and Offaly. Our coverage with thanks to Treaty Electric, Sarsfield Street in Clonmel. And we're just waiting now for one of the Offaly players to, I believe it's a blood substitution, down in front of us. Off goes Lee Pearson, and on comes number 17, Kieran Donnelly, going to be coming onto the field. Temporary substitution. So here we go. This is a kick out now for Offaly. The goalkeeper on the 21 and all the players out around the 45 are going to be running out towards the sideline here, but it looks like the goalkeeper is going to go long, and let's see what happens now. The ball is high up in the air on the far side of the field, and it's fisted down by one Offaly man to another, and now they're in possession. But Tipperary pushed forward now, bid on this and force Offaly to go back to their full back line, but Offaly now comfortably in possession of this ball. But you'd like to see Tipperary do that again and force them to go long. It gives Tipperary some way of trying to win possession.
You'd like to see us force it a small bit.
Jack Kendy just pushes an Offaly man to the ground. Referee says play on, and Offaly in possession of this ball through number 11. That's Rory McNamee. Gives it off now to number 17, Kieran Donnelly, who's just on the field. He looks one way, looks the other, and is running across the edge of the Tipperary 45 and gives a hand pass off now. And coming through the middle was number 7, Cian Donoghue, but he's happy to go backwards, as is a lot of these Offaly players. They know they're in the lead. They've a 2-point lead. Offaly 14 points, Tipperary 12, and Offaly just happily holding on to possession, just probing and around the Tipperary 65, waiting for that opening to come. And he's in possession now is Dylan Hyland. He's going to kick a low ball into the full forward line, and coming out onto that ball there was Aaron Sullivan, and he played the ball back to Dylan Hyland. Now Dylan Hyland now under a lot of pressure now, just gets a hand pass off to Bernard Allen, and Allen gets shouldered by Jack Kendy and down to the ground, and it was just a loose, was it a shoulder or was it a fist coming in to try and get the ball?
It wasn't a shoulder anyway. It was a sort of two hands in by the look of it, a little jab, I'd say. Jack probably needs to be careful now.
Yeah, he's been booked already. And
he's probably one tackle away now from seeing the side of the pitch, I'd say.
As we see Mark Stokes coming onto the field for Tipperary in place of Mikey O'Shea. So another substitute for Tipperary there. Mark Stokes onto the field in place of number 13, Mullinahone man Mikey O'Shea. So off goes Mikey O'Shea. He got a point in the first half, but Tipperary will need a couple more. They're down by 2 points. It's Offaly 14 points, Tipperary 12, and coming back onto the field is Lee Pearson after that blood substitution. But we're going to have to, it's actually going to be a substitution being made now for Offaly, and Kieran Donnelly coming back off after that temporary substitution. So back onto the field comes Lee Pearson, but it's going to be a free in now for Anton Sullivan. He's going to be taking this off the ground. He's kind of about 30 yards out, but only about 10 yards in from the sideline, so it's a difficult kick. He started it online, but it was always curling, and it curls left of the near post and wide. So still a 2-point game, 8 minutes to go. Tipperary are well in this game if they can.
Doubt, it's only going to take a small thing. The next score, point, goal. You
never know.
Yeah.
So Tipperary on the attack now through this kick out now, makes its way to Colm O'Shaughnessy, and now Kevin Fahey in the middle of the field. Kevin Fahey in possession of this ball, just right in the strip of line in the middle of the field, gives it to his right hand side to Emmett Maloney. Maloney hand passes forward to Mark Russell now. Russell now goes on a solo up to the 45, gives it off to Mark Stokes, who's just onto the field. Stokes in possession of this ball now, as I can tell you. Tipperary, thanks to a goal from Cueva Maher, are now 117 to 2 points in the lead against Clare. 13 minutes gone in the second half of the Camogie League, but here in Semple Stadium it's Offaly 14 points, Tipperary 12. Tipperary on the attack though. We have 62, nearly 63 minutes gone here. Tipperary need to try and get this ball in over the bar into the back of the net. They need to try and win this game here in Semple Stadium.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy. Offaly have set up a lot behind the ball, and they have a double sweeper system in operation as well.
Now it opens up for Kevin Fahey. Kevin Fahey, it's a poor shot and it's into the goalkeeper's hands, and Kevin Fahey thinks he's just might have been hit late there, but the referee is going to play on, and David Power not too happy there. Just another scoring chance goes begging though, and Offaly surging through the middle of the field, but it's a great tackle there in the middle of the field, and they've overturned Peter Cunningham, and now Tipperary just getting a bit of wind in their sails, coming forward now through Mark Stokes. Here's Stokes now up to the 45. He's got the surging Mark Russell to his left hand side. He gives it off to Russell. Russell looks at the post straight away, gives a lovely little pop hand pass to Stokes, and Stokes back to Russell. Now Russell might shoot from the 21. It's a difficult angle. Is it going to curl in? Just never curled in, and it's stayed right and wide as he just put a bit of backspin on that as he drove his foot through that ball, but it just held the line and never curled in and went to the right and wide. So still 14 points playing 12, but Tipperary can win this game, Philly.
Definitely, Paul. Yeah, we're coming. We have a bit of steam up now, and we're coming at it hard. Just a small thing if we can get our hands on the ball here. And Michael O'Reilly's out marking around the middle of the field. And
Tipp have pushed up on the kick out now, and the ball is broken down there, and it's broken down Tipperary's favour. And Jimmy Feehan had one possession of the ball, but there was a heavy collision again in the air. Could have been a clash of heads there. It was number 11 again, Rory McNamee, who was affected by the last collision in the air, but he's back up on his feet. But it's concerns for Jack McAvoy, who's slow to get back up onto his feet. But it is going to be Tipperary possession, and that's what we wanted to see. Tipp pushing up on the kick out, forcing Offaly to go long, and Tipp have possession now.
Yeah, it's a 50-50. When you're going long, you're forcing a 50-50, and you're forcing it to be break a ball.
Yeah.
And the lads did very well to get in under the break of the ball there that time. Unfortunately, the referee just blew it up, break in play. So we're off again now anyway. So
a goal for Cavan in the other game. It's now 29 minutes gone up in Antrim. It's Antrim 114, Cavan 111. So a 3-point game there. We'll keep an eye on that. But it is Tipperary down by 2 points here. Offaly 14 points and Tipperary 12. 65 minutes gone. And it is the Premier on the attack, and it could maybe open up. It's Jimmy Feehan who's found his way all the way in. He's given a hand pass off to Lee McGrath. McGrath's in the edge of the 14. He's been fouled. It looks like it was just a yard outside the 14. Yeah. It's not going to be a penalty, but we could see a card of some colour here, Philly.
It's a clever foul. You know, he was bearing down a goal. He was going to get a goal chance, and it's a tactical foul.
It's what the black card is brought in for. So you'd imagine this should be a black card, and I would be surprised if we don't see a black card. And I am surprised because we've seen a yellow card. Now, I don't know. I thought that would have been a clean-cut lad running through towards goal, gets pulled down. I would agree with you. I wouldn't like to see any fella. I wouldn't like to be calling for a black or a red card, but definitely that was one incident of a black card, Jeff, for sure. But nonetheless, it's a scoring opportunity now as Luke Boland is warming up, ready to come on down below us, as is Keane Farrell for Offaly. But Jack Kennedy going to be taking this 14 yards out, just easily puts that ball over the bar. And now it's just a 1-point game. 66 minutes gone. Offaly 14 points, Tipperary 13, and we're going to have some substitutions. On comes number 17 for Tipperary, Luke Boland, and interesting to see who he'll be coming on for. But first, on comes number 20, Keane Farrell. Farrell is onto the field for Offaly, and off comes one of their forwards here, and we just see Luke Boland. So Cathal Deely goes off, and on comes number 17, Luke Boland. So just a 1-point game now, Philly.
Yeah, Yeah, 4.5 minutes left here, so we've all to play for. This kick out is going to be vital for Offaly. They'll need to get possession. That's what they'll be looking for, and we'll be looking to break it down and try and get a go forward ball here.
So Keane Farrell comes on for Bernard Allen, who just managed 1 point today after his 1-3. So the goalkeeper goes long for Offaly and it goes over the head. It looked like it might have been a bit of a nudge on the back on Donaleahy, but it's an advance mark there caught by Dylan Hyland. Too close, and Offaly have given a cheap ball away to Tipperary, and the Tipperary substitutes down below us and management team are very up for this now, and they believe they can get something from this game. 67 minutes gone, Offaly 14 points, Tipperary 13, and it's Tipperary on the attack. Donaleahy now outside the 45 gives a hand pass off to Lee McGrath. Lee McGrath drops the shoulder, takes it into contact and just loses possession, then gives away a free, and that's a frustrating one for Tipperary to just give away a ball so cheaply like that from Lee McGrath.
And Liam, I think, is going to be facing the yellow card here himself.
Yeah, once he gave the ball away and it was too far in front of him, he just lunged in and tackled the man hard, and he probably is going to go into the book, but and it is that's a black card. That's very surprising now. Very, very surprising black card. Lee McGrath, I don't think that's a black card. I think that's just a mistimed tackle, considering what we saw on the edge of the 14 there moments ago. Lee McGrath is going to be off for the rest of the game.
That's a big call now. Unfortunately for Liam, I didn't think it was a black card. If that incident was a black card, then surely the one inside in front of the goal, as you said, the man bearing down on goal, going at it, and it's a yellow card. I don't know. Pure disadvantage, total disadvantage to Tipp now, unfortunately.
So off goes Lee McGrath. I'm really not too sure about that decision, but play continues and Offaly are in possession, and Tipp's task has been made much more difficult now, down to 14 men. Offaly on the attack, 14 points, playing 13, 69 minutes gone, and there's another Offaly man down on the far side of the field. I just missed that one there, Philly. It looked like Kevin Fahey maybe collided with one of their players.
Just the hand came in, just slipped up high. There wasn't anything sinister in it, there wasn't anything cynical, just hand in, hand out, and just slipped up in his face, that's all.
So play continues, and Offaly look alright. The physio had to run onto the field, but he was no use, as the Offaly man was up and going by the time he got to him. So Offaly still in possession of this ball. 69 minutes gone now. Offaly 14 points, Tipperary 13.
Yeah, and we'll find it hard to get our hands on the ball now, because we've been down the man. They're going to play it around a bit.
And Offaly will play this around the back now. They've an extra man, they were a point up, and they've no onus on them to go get another score. They're happily enough win this game by a point and keep their promotion chances alive, and especially with Cavan currently losing against Antrim. But they're going on the attack now through Dylan Hyland. Hyland up inside the 45, surging down on the Tipperary goals. He's going to shoot, he's going to kick this very high, but he gets under it and slices it to the left and wide, and with 69.5 minutes gone, Tipperary are going to get a chance from this kick out.
Yeah, he's a very lively forward, actually. He covered a lot of ground there. Yeah, we're out now, we're past the 45 at the kick out, so look, let's a bit of momentum here now.
Keith Ryan now gets the hand pass off under a lot of pressure, and Jimmy Feehan gets the hand pass off as well, and now it opens up in front of Emmett Maloney as the fourth official is holding up the board, but it's not facing us, so we don't know what's on it. It's 5 minutes, and Mark Russell's on the attack, gives it off now to Luke Boland on the 14, but hand pass it backwards now, and Tipp just going to hold on to possession. It wasn't a good shooting position out near the sideline, so Tipp going to hold on to possession through Donaleahy. Leahy back to Mark Russell now. Russell inside the 45. Tipp down by 1 point. 14 points, playing 13. 70 minutes gone in Semple Stadium. Your coverage here on Tipp FM with thanks to Treaty Electric, Sarsfield Street in Clonmel. Michael O'Reilly is all the way outside his goals. He's inside the own 65 of Offaly. He's in possession, gives the hand pass off now to Colm O'Shaughnessy. Offaly have everyone back now inside their own 65 as Tipperary look for a bit of space, and they're calling for movement there down below us, as Tipperary down to 14 men after a black card was got by Liam McGrath. But here's Jimmy Feehan. Feehan goes one way, and now he's up to the 21, gives it off to Kevin Fahey. Looks like it was a loose hand there, but space is opened up now, and it could be a chance for a point now, maybe for Tipperary. Have they won a free? No, says the referee, and David Power very not happy at all. He's almost on the field there. Very frustrating for Tipperary, but Michael O'Reilly is going to be the one to have to make this tackle. Michael O'Reilly is outside his goals. It's a foot race with one of the Offaly defenders, and Michael O'Reilly does so well.
He did well there, yeah, he did. He blocked the man off the ball, kicked it out over the sideline, so Tipp were moving forward with the ball. We're doing well, but we just need to get that shot at goal. goal.
Yeah, so can they just engineer a scoring opportunity? Tipperary, they're 1 point down, 71.5 minutes. We're going to play 5 minutes of extra time. Offaly 14 points, Tipperary 13. Tipp on the attack on the edge of the Offaly 45. Here's Mark Russell. He goes all the way back now to Colm O'Shaughnessy. Tipperary are going to find it hard down a man, and Offaly have everyone inside the 45, and they've been pulled back there by number 20. And
it'll be interesting to see if he gives a card for this one now. I mean, that's a blatant pullback, you know. Michael O'Reilly, I think, fancies chances of
and the referee's going to bring it back, and Tipperary are taking the free quickly, but Michael O'Reilly is going to have a shot at the post. It looks like he's about 5 yards outside the 45 central position, and this could level things up. He's already scored 2 points today, has Michael O'Reilly. This one is going to be the longest one he's taken so far, but it's well within his distance, especially with a bit of a breeze behind him here in the second half. Michael O'Reilly looking down in towards the town end, number 1 on his back. He strikes this ball. Is it accurate? It looks like it's going to the left, and it has gone to the left and wide, and it could have been kept in play if someone was on the line, but instead it's gone to the left and wide.
Unfortunate, it wasn't. He didn't catch it as clean as he's caught his other kicks today.
So the goalkeeper now for Offaly, Ian Duffy's going to be taking this kick out. He's calling for movement, and he's going to kick this long, but he's going to kick this straight out over the line, and Kevin Fye was happy to let that ball go.
He should have played it because we were going forward.
And Kevin Fye gives a dirty ball into the middle of the field, and Michael O'Reilly does really well to hold on to it, gives the hand pass off, but it's a loose hand pass, and it's all gone very loose and scrappy as Offaly just boot the ball forward. Michael O'Reilly is about 70 yards from goals. We've no goalkeeper, and Emmett Maloney looks like he's after getting a stud into the ankle, but play on, says the referee, and there's no goalkeeper now. The goals is open. It's going to be surely a goal for Offaly. Number 11 is in there. There's no one in the goals, and it's into the back of the net by Rory McNamee. And Emmett Maloney looks in a bad way as Offaly get the goal. That's going to surely win the game. Michael O'Reilly thinks he's been fouled in the middle of the field, but Tipperary had to push forward to try and get something, and Jack Kendi is pleading with the linesman here. Whatever happened to Emmett Maloney, he was coming to the ball and he was surely going to win the ball, and I don't know, did he roll his ankle or did he get tackled or what?
Yeah, a strange passage of play, like, I mean, because out around the middle of the field Michael O'Reilly came out and it looked like the Offaly man might have fouled the ball there, or might have fouled Michael, hard to say, but Michael got caught in the ground then, and from that, Emmett seems to have jarred his ankle. And
Emmett Maloney is still down, and Tipperary haven't gotten a sub on the field, and instead it could be another goal chance now for Offaly. It's all so loose, and it is another goal for Offaly because there's barely anyone back for Tipperary, and it's a second goal in about 30 seconds for Offaly on the far side of the field. Don't even know who finished it over on that far side, but it's all gone so loose. But Tipperary playing with 13 men because they haven't brought on anyone to replace Emmett Maloney, who's still down on the ground, and it's all just falling apart here for Tipperary in the last minute.
We need to get a sub in. I don't know, have the lads even realised that Emmett has gone off, but 2 goals in less than a minute, 2 killer blows. I don't think we deserve that margin of a loss.
So very disappointing here as this almost summons Tipperary to show relegation. I'll just have a look to see is there any score update up in Corrigan Park as Tipperary win a free.
Emmett Maloney being carried off.
Emmett Maloney being carried off now by 2 of the medical staff here just down below us, so hopefully Emmett Maloney can recover. We've had enough injuries in this Tipperary panel so far this year, but here's Donalahi on the attack, gives it off to Luke Boland. Boland now gives a hand pass off now, and it could be a goal chance for Mark Stokes. The ball is in around the square, it's there to be won. The goalkeeper just throws a boot at it and gets it out of the square, but it is still Tipperary down now 2-14 to 13 points Offaly lead. But as Philly said, this doesn't really what Tipperary deserve, but I can tell you Cavan have got another goal in that game. It's Antrim 116, Cavan 212, but it's gone full time here in Semple Stadium. It's finished Offaly 2-14, Tipperary 13 points, and if you're just tuning in, the score really doesn't reflect Tipperary's performance in this game. 2 late goals, breakaway goals, it must be said, by Offaly, puts a real gloss on the score. They can still qualify or they can still be promoted from Division 3, but for Tipperary it looks like their stint in Division 3 might just be over after that. 2-14 for Offaly, 13 points for Tipperary, and it's more disappointment, Philly.
Yeah, it is disappointing. Very disappointing finish. I don't think we really deserved that killer blow of the 2 goals at the end there. The Offaly management down below us here, very emotional at the final whistle. They're in a little group together, and I see our own Paul Fitzgerald, who's part of the backroom team.
Yeah.
Some of the Tipp lads, you know.
It's been a very difficult week for Paul Fitzgerald and co. And
Paul himself had a newborn there during the week, so congratulations to him. But bittersweet week, highs and lows, and it's been a tough week, and I'm sure a lot of emotion pouring out there just at the final whistle. So Offaly be glad to get this game over and done with, I suppose.
Yeah, a lot of supporters out on the field greeting both sets of players there, but the Offaly players now obviously very emotional after that. A big win for them, of course. They can still be promoted, but unfortunately for Tipperary, I'm just trying to get a full time from the Cavan Antrim game, and it's a big win for Antrim, 117 to 212. Antrim win it by a point, so I believe that guarantees Tipperary relegation. So a disappointing league campaign. It's been a lot of ifs and buts, but Tipperary haven't been able to get over the line in any of the games.
No, and you saw that there today, Paul. Unfortunately, we had a couple of goal chances in the second half that we didn't take. We've had a couple of goal chances throughout the league campaign that we didn't take. Up in Longford, we were 4 points up with a few minutes to go. We hadn't found ourselves in a position like that for probably a lot of games, and we didn't know how to close out the game. It's just, I suppose it was inevitable we were going to go to Division 4. It was just a matter of when. So today just confirms that. Be gathering on the pitch here now at the moment. I suppose just
to greet the Offaly players after the week they've had. I suppose it's been very difficult, of course, with the passing of Liam Kearns, but he would have been happy with how this game played out. It was a great game. At times Offaly held on to possession a lot of the times because they didn't have to push forward, but when they did need to push forward and when they wanted to push forward, they're a very good attacking team, and
they were quite lively. They found the gaps well. Number 15 Dylan Hyland, very lively player. Anton Sullivan, very good player. You have McNamee's, all good players. The fellas driving on from the back, Lee Pearson, Keane Donoghue, they gave them a great platform to move forward. While we'd be disappointed with the margin of loss, probably Offaly were slightly better in front of the goal.
And Tipperary did have their goal chances. Sean O'Connor had that one, and Donnelly had that one as well. So there was chances there for Tipperary to go and win this game, but as has been the story of this league so far for Tipperary, they just haven't been able to take their chances.
That's it, unfortunately. And if you don't take your chances, you don't come away with victory. Look, I suppose, where do we go from here? We go Division 4 next year. We now have to regroup. The lads go to Westmeath next week, play out the last game. I'd like to see a few changes in the team. I'd like to see a few different people tried out in different areas. See, can we bring someone along? We'd play Waterford in the Championship. We'd possibly beat Waterford, and then we'd face Kerry in the Championship. That's not going to be an easy ask,
Down in Killarney, I believe it would be,
with the Cliffords on fire, so where we have to be looking for, we have to get ourselves grouped up and get ready for the Talton Cup. That has to be the aim.
Because the Talton Cup this year is going to be a proper group stage. You're going to have at least 3 games, and can you get through? So, it's not going to be a one and done job like it was last year.
No.
So you can actually, I think teams will be more up for it this year, and it will be a proper competition. Not saying it wasn't last year, but
and there's a big carrot out of it. Whoever wins the Talton Cup goes into Sam Maguire next week. You're up at the top 16 teams. So it is a huge incentive. It would be something nice to come true. The Offaly lads are playing a bit of soccer out there. I don't think the Semple Stadium people will be happy with that.
Robert Ryan is straight onto the field there, But the Tipperary team down to her right hand side just huddled up beside each other. Wasn't a bad performance at all by Tipperary. Just again, critical moments in the game, didn't take their chances. And if you're just tuning in, it's finished up. Offaly 2-14, Tipperary 13 points, but Offaly's 2 goals came in the last minute of the game, really in injury time, when Michael O'Reilly had pushed up the field, and a few loose passes in around the middle of the field allowed Offaly to break and kick it into basically an empty net. But Tipperary were right in that game the whole way to the end, but it's just they just can't get over the line.
No, look, definitely, there's a lot of positives to take out of this game, a lot more than we have had in other games, but I don't think, if we reflect again on it, our performance wasn't that bad. Just a small little bit of indecision in front of goal, and maybe with a couple of those chances it would have been a different outlook on the scoreboard at the end of the game, because if we scored one of those goals, Offaly they weren't holding on to the ball the way they were allowed to hold on to it. They'd have to come out and play a bit more. But in fairness to Offaly, they controlled the game very well. They did what they had to do around the middle part of the field, and then they found their gap and they knew how to put the burners on and go at us. It's very disappointing. Like, I mean, the players, they gave great effort here today.
And David Powers just finished up talking to his players here, just walking off the field down to our right hand side. So Tipperary have been confirmed relegated back down to Division 4 after being promoted after that great run in that league final up in Croke Park last year. Tipperary have been relegated back down to Division 4 of the National Football League, and they still have a game to go. They're playing Westmeath next weekend, but it's finished up here in Semple Stadium. Offaly 2-14, Tipperary 13 points. Back to Davin in studio.